Okay, we're reviewing Dropfleet 2.0's top UCM ships. These stats keep being subject to change, so this is as of the 3rd of October, which is before release, just so everyone understands. Alright, whatever. Alright, we go fire up the whole presentation here. Look at my secret stuff. Alright. So I had everyone pick, there's 3 of us here. Andy has Sanguinius hiding behind him, totally safe. And we all picked our top 3 or 3 ships, whatever. The first one I picked was the Glasgow, or however you're supposed to say that. I don't know. I just like these cruisers that there's like aggressive close action cruisers in UCM now, which is different.
Yeah, it's definitely new.
Before, like, a Madrid was the bombardment cruiser, which is still around, but like it didn't really do anything other than bombardment. This is like a bombardment Taipei on a cruiser platform, and I don't know, I just think I could be a complete bully with this.
You do like your Taipeis.
Yeah, they just
I was surprised, like, it's a lot. Like, I didn't realize there was a scald on those missile turrets.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we just, like, duct taped Jin to the side of a UCM cruiser. It's fine. Totally fine.
I could see that
they've
walking
been
up.
experimenting with plasma weapons for a bit. The UCM has. I think one of their bombers has like a plasma bomb or something on it.
Yeah.
And there's like that new plasma mortar, I think. Or maybe that was the Scourge ship, I forget.
Anyway, is this a medium ship? I don't remember. I didn't click the very top.
I think so.
Yeah.
It should, because it has the shoulder guns. If it didn't, it would be a light cruiser. So this should just be a cruiser.
I mean,
It's
honestly,
Group 1 too, as well.
Yeah, as a medium ship, I just it fills a lot of roles for me, and I feel like it's if you want to fight over clusters and stuff, I feel like it's a good ship. It feels like a better option than a Madrid, because a Madrid, like, well, in the past, we'll look at it, but it was just like, I can shoot the surface and nothing else. And also, bombardment has way more utility now than it did before.
Yeah. That's a big change in this edition.
I almost think, like, I have to play some more games, but it seems like...
More? We haven't even played yet.
That's true. That's
And whose fault is that, Sky?
You know, going from 0 to 1 is still more. Things are busy, okay? But it just seems like access to bombardment is so huge, and now you can... Who needs corvettes? You can just poke whatever ship you want down in atmosphere. Who cares?
It definitely gives you, like, bombardment ships a lot of versatility. Are they going to be as good? I don't know. Like, that's going to be interesting.
All right, moving on.
I think they'll still be about as good, but we'll talk more about that, as I suspect we will.
Oh, look, this one's got even more bombardment. Take it away, Andrew.
I totally chose this one for versatility. So, like, yes, it's got bombardment, so it can hit Atmo. It's got an energy weapon, right? So then if you know your enemy's weakness is energy, boom, you got an option. If it's got kinetic, right? If you need to just general quarters, you're at least looking at 13 dice popping in on kinetic, or, you know, like 6 on energy, and then it's some bonus. So that's what I liked about the Tokyo. I was always a fan of the Tokyo in the first edition too.
So the only one here without the core rules PDF. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can shoot bombardment weapons in orbit at other ships in equal orbital layers. It's just a standard weapon now, in addition to having the bombardment rule.
Yeah, so it's basic lock is what it takes to...
That's just for the people listening, just so they know that you can now shoot the bombardment turrets at another Tokyo in orbit. You can duel with Tokyos now.
Yeah, is it?
But when you use the bombardment rule, you get bonuses.
Yeah. Yeah, when you use it to target clusters, you get bonuses. So this is still 2s.
They're called drop sites now, sir.
Yeah, 2
it has to be a city drop site, and it gets +2 lock.
Yeah, it's what.
Specifically cities. Specifically cities, you get the bonus.
So if you target like, I don't know, industrial, it's different, or are those all considered cities?
There's not, you only target the drop site. There's no more like targeting a feature or targeting a sector. You're just saying, I'm shooting that city.
Sectors are now features, and you can target them, but you typically just target the drop site itself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's if you have excess damage or you do a certain amount of damage that you can just go, I want that feature dead.
Oh, okay. I get you. All right. Moving on, the Warsaw.
I just wanted to show the new Cobra. I like it. I think
burn through 2.
Yeah. It compared to a regular single Cobra, the 4 shots go to 6. It's BTL and focus 1, go to BTL and focus 2. So you could typically argue, well, why don't you just have 2 Cobras? I think this is better than having 2 separate Cobras, which are just to have the 8 shots, because access to armor penetration is a lot rarer now. And for those, I guess this is coming out the day of the release, right? So most people won't know until like today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Burn through, when you roll a critical hit with a burn through weapon, you reduce the target's armor save, in this case the energy save because it's an energy weapon, by -2, the burn through value. So basically it reduces if a Warsaw shoots another Warsaw, if it gets a crit, you'll only get a 6+ energy save versus that crit hit from the Cobra Heavy Laser Pair, versus the -1 from having like 2. So I think having 2 Cobras as 1 weapon is actually better. So it differentiates itself from the Berlins more, and I like that. It gives it like a dedicated armor cracking role, which is what lasers always were, but it emphasizes that better now, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I didn't realize it had a backup save, and that didn't never clicked in me. So that's pretty nice too.
Well, it's a heavy cruiser, so
yeah, heavy for UCM, heavy cruiser and up is where you start getting your backup saves. It's a little different for each faction.
All right, the Jakarta. I mostly wanted to put this here so we could talk about how the Aegis rule is very different than what it was before. So Aegis 4 is 4-inch bubble, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The Aegis number is now the range of your Aegis ability, and Aegis gives you a reroll to your kinetic saves.
Yes, that's right. The fact that it's a full reroll, that seems like a lot.
Yeah, especially for the faction that will have the best kinetic saves. It's a little intimidating.
It's also like the what's the word? I mean, close action is kinetic too, isn't it? Some of it.
I mean, you're gonna have all over the place. It just depends.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, in a way it's niche because it's only against kinetic, but I think.
Depending on your fleet opponent, it will definitely have varied use.
Well, I actually think it's better now, because I used to, in 1.0, run Jakartas and Taipei's in a little group of 3 and 2, you know?
It's definitely better now, because you're taking it against like even weapon shots. Like if you're firing a mass driver and another Jakarta, that's kinetic damage, so you're using your kinetic save, and with the Geas, you can just reroll your kinetic save.
Yeah,
you cannot reroll a reroll, of course, for the record.
No,
but I mean, right? You're looking at 3 ups, most likely across the UCM fleet.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you're re-rolling that? Like that's some Space Marine shenanigans.
It's like pretty much a 2 up. Then at that point, you're going to almost save just about everything.
No, it's good. The thing that I'm thinking too is when you look at the new activation system of groups, you can just always move the Jakartas up first, and then move everything else into their little protection bubble. Like, as activations go, that's kind of better than before, if you think about it. It makes it so much easier to pass the protection of Jakartas to something else when you want it over somewhere else, you know what I mean? That's just my take. That's just my take. I don't know. I have to mess with it, but...
A group of 4 spread out around 3 inches with essentially a 4-inch radius on each one. It's a big bubble.
It really is. Because I'm thinking like only 2 to 3. Like I don't want to take a whole ton, but they're a utility, you know? And for your opponent to target them, it's kind of like wasting stuff, you know?
It's not too far off from trying to shoot like Calypsos.
Yeah, kind of the same idea.
Like
You're gonna get sad though when.
Yeah, it's gonna make you sad trying to do it, but you got to do it.
Yeah. All right, going on. All right, so the Madrid.
Oh, look at that. We all kind of picked bombardment.
Yeah, it's just
I see a pattern here.
It's just a worse version of the Glasgow, you know.
I'm picking the Madrid for similar reasons for what Sky and Andy have picked the Tokyo and the Glasgow. I like it because it's a bit more bite-sized than the Tokyo, and it's pretty much even with the Glasgow. But I specifically chose this because the Glasgow, while it's more aggressive, this one is more of a line ship version, and I think that's more of the UCM style. So it's a gunnery ship. Obviously, you'll have bombardment weapons as usual, but if you are gunner weapons free, you get scan plus signature range instead of being limited to close action.
Yeah.
Like you would be with Glasgow.
What I like is that all these mass driver turrets for UCM now have fusillade. It feels so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot more 4-ups.
And
feels right.
This synergizes a lot better, I think. It depends on what admiral abilities you take, right? So like.
Yeah,
there are some admiral abilities that increase both lasers and mass drivers, but I think this one would be better.
Yeah, I was gonna have us go over all the admiral abilities for all the factions in like a whole other video sometime. Whatever, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of shenanigans. The faction specific shenanigans are still there, for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna be fun.
All right, Andy, tell us about the Las Vegas.
Oh, I've played this ship. I really like the command ship rule. It is subtle. Getting that additional admiral level has been key in achieving that initiative that you so need in the mid turns of every game. This is pretty much a Seattle, right? Because it's got the 6400.
Yeah. I was just gonna say it's like a better Seattle.
Yep, and then it's got the versatility. Honestly, I think you're just gonna run fighters with this entire time, unless you're like a really heavy launch list. But I think like, you don't have the space for Jakartas.
A lot of energy weapons, then your fighters won't be as useful.
Yeah,
yep, that's true.
And how does
I will note this has unique, so you can actually only take one of this ship ever, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you can't spam it.
And
what you have would be really useful.
And what's the downside to detector now? It's not spikes, right?
It requires a weapon to shoot. So you must give up your 6400s if you want to use detector. But it's an option.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad.
I mean, it's I think this is a line ship too, so it's tonnage medium. It's going to help contribute to those points that you need when you fleet build.
Yeah, well,
medium
and
ships.
It's also like, what if stuff's just out of range? You can detector because you're not going to fire your turrets anyway. Because do you need line of sight for detector now or no?
Don't need it to some degree. Yeah, you definitely you can't do it through an LSO anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. All right. Okay, how about the Boston? Boston? I can't say it.
I'm curious on this one.
It's honestly kind of a bit of a meme pick. It's the light torpedo carrier cruiser. It's like a Havana stapled to the light cruiser's weapon mount. And it doesn't have rare like the Ulaanbaatar and the Bucharest. And it isn't like a multi-role heavy cruiser like the New Mombasa. All four of these ships.
Oh my gosh, you can 2 to 3 these?
Yeah, because it's a light cruiser. All four of those have the torpedoes, but this is the only one that isn't, it doesn't have rare like the other two. So it's more easily spammable.
I didn't think of it like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, depending if you're going to torpedo max, you might actually consider taking this over the other ones just because, well, it doesn't need the weapons free. All of them are good picks, but this one it doesn't need or want weapons free. It's just it's a light torpedo. It's it's just a Havana on a cruiser mount.
Oh my god. Okay, so can you just just a bunch of these in Jakartas. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that I can see that happen. That's pretty sweet.
What I really want, I don't play UCM, but now I want UCM just to collect all the ships with city names. I'll have New Orleans, I'll have San Fran, Las Vegas, the Boston, the Detroit. That'll be my whole fleet. It's just American city names.
What do you have? Some...
You'll have to paint red, white,
Washington.
blue. Then.
Yeah, they're all red, white, and blue. Yeah. Just paint them like bomb pops.
But yeah, that's all. It's a nice, good old meme pick that might actually see some solid use.
Okay, I picked Taipei. Who here's is surprised?
You do like your Taipeis, I would know.
This is a pick kind of informed off of I've trolled with these for my entire life, and I don't think it's going to stop now.
Group size 6 is big, and that's going to give you a huge bubble to pick a lead ship and just go, I'm going to dump a lot of dice on this.
Yeah, and don't you get a backup save at 6?
A backup save at 2.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's just it's a bunch of little ships masquerading as one big ship, but they're not. And they're just I've never not had fun with them, and I think part of it's just rolling dice, but I don't know. The orc player in me loves this.
I do think you'll have more opportunities to drop them a Type A bomb on people now with the group activation instead of battle group activation.
Yeah, I mean they'll be able to counter more, like after I drop the bomb kind of thing. But I agree with you. It'll be fine. All right.
It's 24 hull that you have to choose through on 6. So.
Yeah, all right,
and
Andy.
You do have to chew through all of it now because they don't get crippling for frigates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to fully kill them now.
Okay, tell me about the nuke. Nuke?
I think it's Nuck.
Is it Nuck? I don't even know where it is. I'm too ignorant.
Greenland? I think it's like the capital of Greenland.
I don't know where it is either.
Okay. So I picked this guy. This might be controversial. People will probably disagree with me on this. I get it. With this edition going lighter on damage, right? Like it's not going to be as carnagey as V1 was. I think you're going to see these e-warfare ships get a better role because now, right, not only is it vectored, so you get way better turns. Vectored in this edition, I think, is super good because all the other orders really limit on turns. You'll be able to target a ship. I'll run a group of 3, hopefully get 1 status on a single ship group, and then you're probably going to pick defense offline. So that way, all your other ships roll up and just pummel as hard as you can.
So status is the one that you can pick from. If it doesn't have a listing behind it, you can just pick any of the status effects from the crippling table and apply that to the target ship.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh,
and then it automatically goes away.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my man, they should have just called this the Merlin or something. Little wizardry.
I did. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I did try this strategy once, and I'm just a horrible roller. 3 dice. The nukes didn't even get damaged in the entire game, but they also couldn't put a status on. So it's a toss. Maybe
4 up, 3 shots. If you take a max group, it's not super reliable, but it is a threat that you should be wary of as the other player.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel overwhelming, but it is definitely, for not doing any damage, it can certainly do some damage.
Maybe it's just a complex combo, you got to set up good shots somehow so the lock is not bad. I don't remember.
I was thinking if you really like to go for the secondary objective of killing your opponent's admiral, this is what it's going to do.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I think this is the last one, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, obviously there's more UCM ships, but we're going to do these for every faction. I figure this is fun because it's fast and light and whatever. But which faction do you guys want to do next?
I don't know. We could probably just do Bioficers.
Yeah.
That'll be the other one in the
Man,
starter box.
Now I gotta study. All right. Biofighters it is. All right. Thanks for recording this, y'all. I hope everyone enjoys this madness.